raise up a little bit here. I do that shit without them. I do that shit without them. Without Came to kill me, don't forget that to leave, right? I don't give a fuck what you read. She say, leave my complex, bring your war like it's D-Day. I'ma take it slow, still so on the freeway. You go once I gotta pay, got my shit the freeway. I was locked up, was a million in the freeway. Now they wanna be me, they wanna be me. Either way, go, I still chop it on the cheesesteak. 3 days ahead to the weekdays. I can even lie, still fucking with the freaks. Hey, fucking around with me, I come out, no doubt. Feet on the street, but I'm on the broken clouds. Feeling all alone again, let it get me down. Even the lights of shit tools me up when I'm around. Make a way for let the law come around. Trying to make me happy that nobody hate me now. That whole world is really looking out. Only for the ones that hit my phone when I was down. From my hometown, and a unique sound. If you didn't know, I'm just thinking out loud. I'm thinking out loud. I can mess around, baby. I can mess around. Just going down. Thinking out loud. If you didn't know, I'm just thinking out loud. Thinking out loud. Thinking out loud. If you didn't know, just thinking out loud. Thinking out loud. Thinking out loud. Baby, did you know that I'm thinking out loud? Thinking out loud. If you didn't know, just thinking out loud. I'ma bring it down. I'ma bring it down. I'ma just let you know I'm thinking out loud. I do that shit without them. I do that shit without them. Still running up these bands without them. I got my friends on down. My hometown filled with mouths. Running up these bands without them. I got my friends on down. My hometown filled with mouths. Couldn't do it by yourself, so they try to stop me. Can't step alone, gotta do it with a team. How do we know what they struggle to believe? Running up this cheese, bitch, I feel like big me. She was stressed up on my shoulders, I've been left in the streets. I let go of grudges from a 10-year-old beef. Still touching phone 5, even though I push a piece. Cause if they run up, get it popping like grease. Slowly break down these years, close to in the slush. Coming on the inside, slowly coming up in mud. Still with this flush, with these all that's a fucking blood. Fucking with me, life full of pain, so much having lots of fun, breaking bread with the homies, that's what the fuck it was. I'm all alone, ain't nobody ever here. Talking to myself when I'm fucking in here. Bitch, up in the boss, it's a thing of secret. Got my evidence, don't pick up like a tip. I'm the only one that be talking in my head. Let's just keep it real, I'm the only ones I hear. I still wonder why they operate on fear. I still wonder why they operate on fear. If you didn't know, bitch, I'm getting real near to these dreams and these goals. And I got them out the way. It's a real assumption and crack every day. It's just a real assumption and crack every day. Motherfuckers gotta hit, gotta get away. Before they get lack, get cracked with a K. Bitch, you can't mad and it's all took away. Locked in the safe, but I'll never touch a man. Never touch a man unless I got to bang. Gotta pull it up and bust a motherfucking brain. I do that shit without you, do that shit without you, do that shit without you. Okay, we're not gonna worry about finishing the whole exit outro piece and all that good shit. So hey, what's going on? Welcome back to the communication station. Your boy Sweaty in the cut. We back in this bitch, and we gonna break some things down before I gotta go out and handle some shit. So we're gonna do our thing here. Make sure my fucking hair is all fixed up, looking nice. Don't want that shit sticking up all over the place. But yeah, as promised, I've got the full breakdown edition of the video that I started the other day. It was only like 10-15 minutes long or something like that. In between 10 and 15 minutes long. So yeah, as promised, I'm breaking down more in depth of why your relationships don't ever work out, and you can't figure out why if you're a person who's dealing with situations like this. You get what I'm saying? So that's what we're going to get into today. And beforehand, once again, big shout out and big thank you to everybody who's been donating. Once again, my
Cash App's going to be in the description of this video. Shout out to everybody who's getting consultations. I haven't had anybody hit me up for tarot yet, so y'all make sure y'all get in it and get you a tarot card reading while I'm still doing it privately and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But also another thing, the other day I mentioned that I'm gaining about half of a person per video that I upload. Since I said that, I uploaded one video since that time, and I've gained 8 or 9 subscribers since then. So big shout out to y'all. Thank you very much. I don't know if it was because I said something in that video or I just uploaded something dope and y'all liked it or whatever. I don't know what video y'all watched to make y'all want to subscribe, but either way it goes, a big shout out and a big thank y'all to y'all. Thank y'all for supporting me. You know what I'm saying? We gonna continue doing what we do out here. So yeah, we're gonna get into this shit real quick. And like I said in the previous video, the reason why y'all be dealing with problems when it comes to relationships is because y'all be relating on a specific topic or a specific mentality or way of viewing the world or opinion based or certain traumas that you have, a certain emotional state of being that you're in at the moment. A lot of y'all be relating on things like this. You know what I'm saying? And that's not necessarily the true essence of it. You get what I'm saying? Like I said, you need to check what space you're in spiritually, first of all. You know what I'm saying? And see if this person is reflecting what's truly you and what's true to you. See if they're reflecting that. See if they're giving an equivalent exchange with that, reciprocation type of energies, all that good stuff with that type of aspect instead of just relating on worldly things. You get what I'm saying? So you need to figure out what space you're in as a spirit. And the most important aspect of this to where you can actually view relationships in the right type of aspect is becoming your own unique individual. You get what I'm saying? So therefore, with that saying, and a lot of people be looking at an individual as the character letter of I am, or some shit like that. I am. But no, it's more like a L. That's when you're more separate. You know what I'm saying? That's when you're more unique individual. That's what a true individual is, even if it's shaped like this. The reason why is because what it takes is internal structuring systems. You get what I'm saying? You need to know what areas within yourself need to be loosened up on. You get what I'm saying? Emotionally, mentally, whatever that may be. Those spaces that you need to loosen up on, you need to observe those and do what needs to be done there. And then those other spaces within yourself where you might go too far with certain characters, you might go too deep and too far into certain ways of thinking and certain emotions that you be feeling at the time and stuff like that. That's where the L comes in handy at, because that helps you actually gain a 90-degree area of space and circumference. You get what I'm saying? This is what you're dealing with whenever you square out your space. You get what I'm saying? When you're taking it from a more roundness aspect and you're constructing it with all different type of angles and all different type of lines and structuring systems, right angles and shit like that. That's when you actually get into that space of being an individual, a unique individual, being in a 90-degree area of space and circumference due to you squaring out your circle. So that's the first step. You need to be an individual first so that you can actually view these things correctly and take care of your internal family. You get what I'm saying? The family that you have inside of you. You get what I'm saying? Because just like we live in a being and we're basically like blood cells and shit like that, and all different type of cells within this being that we're living in at the moment, and we're viewing the lights and the chakras of this being as far as the sun, as far as the different planets, as far as the stars that we're viewing, which most of that shit just be satellites anyways. But y'all get what I'm saying? We're observing the same thing that we have going on internally. So what you need to do is take care of your internal family. And this is what's going to help you to actually be able to jive with people in a more sufficient manner and actually see who's on the same frequency and vibration as you. Because this is the thing, and I'm using this as an example. It's a physical thing, but you know what I'm saying? It'll help you make sense of your internal space a little bit more. So, for example, anytime you're dealing with your actual like physical family, the family that you was born into, right? Anytime you're dealing with them and you get into a situation where it's like your oldest sister or your mom or whatever woman in the family or whatever man in the family is getting married to somebody else from another family or some shit like that. You get what I'm saying? That's where this comes into play at, because y'all will notice how your family, you get what I'm saying? Like, even if your family's a little bit flunked out, y'all might have more sufficient ways of building and constructing your organs and shit. And you can actually see that externally as far as how people carry themselves, what people look like and shit like that, how their body is actually constructed in the first place. We're going to have another video breaking down that topic and shit like that. But you know what I'm saying? Like people with like more smooth and oilier skin, and then this other family is like all dried out and fucking looking weird and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, when you get into those situations, your family will be sitting here like you, two people are from two separate families are getting married. We're all together now, right? But we're all in the same space and location right now, right? But you'll be sitting there and it'll be a situation where like your grandma or some shit will pull you off to the side and be like, what's up with this? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is up with this girl's family? Or what is up with this dude's family? Like, all these motherfuckers are weirdos and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So, and this is a thing to take into consideration too when you're dealing with this shit externally. There might be a family dynamic where one person is like able to like kind of make it out, and you can see that they have developed things more sufficiently internally and shit like that. When they were building their organs, when they were building their chakras, when they were building their lights and shit like that, you see them. They, you know what I'm saying? They're the one person in the family who like is more level-headed. They're the one person in the family who's like skin glowing, pockets heavy and shit like that. You get what I'm saying? Like those type of situations. And what's up, Tribal? Not trying to ignore any of y'all, but when I get in my mode, I kind of just be going. But yeah, so you can observe the one person that's made it out of that family and shit like that, or is different from them and stuff. So in your mind, whenever these two families are coming together, you have only observed and seen that one person. So you're more willing to accept that family by default, just based on this one person that you've had interactions with, right? But then whenever their whole family come around and shit, you're like, oh fuck, like damn, like he just kind of like got lucky, or she just kind of got lucky or some shit, or she is just nothing like this family, or he's nothing like this family and shit like that. So that will make you be more accepting of a person's family just based on that one person. So when we're taking this into an internal aspect, we're dealing with all of our blood cells and all of the cells in our body. We're programming these things. We're putting the right type of energies into them. And not only that, we've built up our chakras. We're taking control of our creations and shit like that. We're observing things in the right aspect, right? When we're dealing with this internally, somebody might come outside their mouth or show you something that looks like an acceptable expression at the moment. You get what I'm saying? So you would be more willing to accept this person and more willing to like bring them into the fold or take them under your wing or just bring them into your circle type of energy. You would be more willing to do that just based on this one character that this person has shown, right? Or this one expression that they've shown, or this one opinion, or this one worldview that they've shown, right? So you're thinking, oh, fuck, like that's exactly how I think about this certain thing, or that's exactly how I view this certain thing, or you know what I'm saying? That's very similar to the shit that I be on. You know what I'm saying? So you'll be like, okay, let's go ahead and involve this person, bring them in, make them my friend, make them a part of the circle or whatever. You get what I'm saying? Make them family in some type of aspect of how y'all be viewing friends and shit like that as family and stuff. So you might be willing to do that off the rip before seeing more from this person. You get what I'm saying? I've seen this shit play out a lot of times. I've seen people do this shit. So I know y'all be doing this shit. Y'all will be willing to accept that shit and make this person a part of your life. But then the moment that you're actually in those environments and dealing with that person on a day-to-day basis and stuff like that, you come across a situation where you're like, where you start feeling weird around them and shit. Like something just don't feel right. Shit feels off. And the more and more that they start to express shit, like that's why they say what you love can destroy you, or what you love can become what you hate, or something like that. Because that's how this be playing out a lot of the times. Y'all just be viewing person for one certain aspect of them that you like about them, and you be romanticizing that to the point where when they start expressing other things that they might have even been expressing this earlier into the relationship when you first met them or something. You get what I'm saying? But you'll sit there because of this one aspect or how they're able to fulfill whatever emotional lack that you have at the moment, especially women, because y'all be doing this a lot of the time. Y'all be using a dude for the moment just because he make you feel good for the moment or some type of shit, or don't make you feel lacking, or don't make you feel alone, or he make you feel seen in some type of way. So he helped cater to your emotions in some type of way. So you bring this dude in, but like I said in the beginning, you'll be viewing certain other things that are what's that word that I'm looking for? In contradiction or in competing type of energies with whatever it was that you were viewing in the first place, right? So they're expressing other things that don't really jive with what you're relating about at the moment, what you're trying to be around this person for at the moment. You get what I'm saying? So what you will do is you will romanticize this so much that you start to romanticize these other things in the aspect as far as when you first meet this person and they start expressing certain things. Like me, for example, I'll be expressing wisdom and knowledge all the time. And if a person comes to me with a so-called problem or an issue or something that they're struggling through, 9 times out of 10, I'm not just going to sit there and gossip with you about your problems and shit like that. Like, I'm going to give you advice and be like, okay, this is how you can get out of that. This is how you can do that, or make this better, or lessen the percentage level of whatever fucked up energy you're dealing with at the moment, right? So I'll express some shit like that, and you'll be like, oh man, you're so smart, you're so wise. Like, I love it when you talk to me and tell me about how you think and view the world and shit. Or another aspect of me, I'll be sitting here being fucking goofy and being like maybe even slightly annoying to certain people of how they view it. I don't think it's annoying. I just like to have fun. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, I can be sitting here being a damn goofball and acting childish and not taking anything seriously and being extremely nonchalant about everything, right? And you'll be like, man, I love that about you. Like, I love how you just like to have fun and you don't really, you know what I'm saying? I like how unbothered you are by everything. I like how you don't let nothing get to you and you're not stressed out and you're so peaceful. Like, I love that. Da 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 da. But then as time goes on, these will be the same reasons of why somebody needs to come up with an excuse of why they need to break up with you or some shit. You get what I'm saying? Or this. Nice. The IG video just fucked off just because I turned my goddamn speaker off. But yeah, so yeah, these will be the same reasons of why somebody will come to grips of why they need to break up with you or some shit, or why they need to distance themselves from you, or that be like the main issues within the relationship. It's those other aspects that you were still showing, like, especially if you're an individual like me. You know what I'm saying? You was showing all that shit at the beginning. You wasn't hiding who you are. You know what I'm saying? You know who you are. You were in your authentic expression and shit like that. You were showing all this shit from the jump. You know what I'm saying? And somebody will sit here and tell you they love all these things about you. And then that'll be the same shit that destroyed the relationship. You get what I'm saying? And that's just your authentic expression. You wasn't holding nothing back with this person. You wasn't lying. You wasn't trying to act like something you're not. It's just due to this person, whatever issues that they're dealing with at the moment. And not only that, you're involving yourself with people who aren't necessarily your family. You get what I'm saying? Your internal family, don't fuck with them. You get what I'm saying? You might fuck with them for this character or this relating point or this ego that y'all can both be on at the moment and kind of not be alone and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But your internal family, like, all the shit that you've programmed, all the real lights within you, all of your creations and shit, just, it don't vibe with that. It don't agree with that. You know what I'm saying? So all your vibrations is trying to separate from that shit, remove itself from that shit. And your vibration right now is repelling that type of energy. You get what I'm saying? Because this is the shit that you've done within yourself to get away from certain situations, or get away from certain energies and get away from certain frequencies and vibrations. So whatever structuring system and protection type of system that you've developed within yourself, that's what's going to be protecting you from these things. And that's why these relationships don't work. And the more you force it, the more catastrophic moments that you got to play out. And the more weird and fucked up characters that you have to be in that ain't necessarily you to go through with that shit. You know what I'm saying? That when you're forcing it and stuff like that. But what's happening is all your vibratory energies is trying to repel that shit. But you're coming up with frequencies, you're coming up with logic and reasoning, you're coming up with thought forms of why you need to stay around this individual. You get what I'm saying? You're coming up with all these ideas of why this shit should work out because of that one aspect of them that you're romanticizing. Or that might be something that you still have an ego about, or something within you that's unresolved conflict or some formulation of some shit like that. And that's where you guys can relate at the moment. But it's not meant to be like a lifelong thing, or it's not meant to be something that takes true precedence, or it's not something that is aligned with your true essence and your true state of being. So it's always going to be something that gets pushed off, gets pushed away. It's always going to be something that's getting repelled from you. You get what I'm saying? Even if you have to go through that and deal with that person for the moment, maybe you even was supposed to be relating with them on something at the moment. But what it is you need to be observing why you're relating in the first place, where y'all come together at. You get what I'm saying? That way it doesn't get misconstrued with all your other lights, all your other creations, all your other frequencies and vibrations. That way it doesn't muddy up the waters, and this right here can stay open and clear. That way you can view it in the right type of aspect. That way when you're dealing with things and shit like that, and people start to get mad at you for expressing certain characters that you've been expressing the whole type of time and shit like that, you now know that they're flunked out and they have muddied the waters due to their own piece of the puzzle, and they're not viewing where y'all come together at in the clarity aspect of like what I just said. You get what I'm saying? So this person is not viewing that correctly, but you are separating this from everything else and not blurring the lines and combining everything. You get what I'm saying? Wherever y'all relate at, you're not blurring that up with all your other frequencies and vibrations and shit like that. So you're not making a mountain out of a molehill, or you're not making a issue out of something that shouldn't be a problem. This should be, and it's funny that my hands even look like a square kind of right now, because 9 times out of 10, if y'all are only relating on this one point or this one ego or this one opinion or this one worldview, when y'all come together, it do play out like that. It play out like a learning experience or a square moment a lot of the time if we refer to astrology and shit. So that's why the shapingness of it kind of fit for that. You know what I'm saying? But that's why. It's because your internal family, all your frequencies and vibrations, all your chakras, everything that you've created, all the blood cells and different type of organisms within you and bacteria and all that shit. You've been taking time to take care of these things and cater to them and do what you need to do and shit like that. This person hasn't. They're basically just letting this shit like Babylon run free and run wild, and fucking Tower of Babel type of energies. You can't ever understand them. They can't ever understand you. And you be wondering why you be so enigmatic all the time. It's because you've taken care of yourself. You get what I'm saying? And everyone else is internally running around in Babylon, running around in the Tower of Babel, never being understood, never conveying anything in a clarity type of way, never even understanding themselves at the end of the day. So that's the reason why this shit play out how it play. You get what I'm saying? That's why these people, you'll notice these people being pushed off of you. And you'll notice how it's always so hard to keep a relationship with a person like that. Whenever your internal family doesn't agree with their internal family, you know what I'm saying? Just like the example that I gave outwardly, my internal family will be sitting here and being like, ew, like that's nasty. Like, why are you not taking care of your shit? Why are you not taking care of your fucking kids? You know what I'm saying? Why is all your kids and all your toddlers running around with dirty ass diapers full of piss and shit and stuff like that, dragging the ground and stuff? Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's just an example. Like, I'm not speaking literally, I'm speaking metaphorically right now, as far as our internal children, our internal family and shit like that. You get what I'm saying? Like, you be a person like me would be viewing it like, ew, like that's nasty, like that's stinky, like that's dirty and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And you will never be able to get your point across to a person like this, because I've dealt with people like this that my internal family didn't agree with in that type of aspect. Everything inside of me didn't agree with in that type of aspect, but like my heart did or some shit. You know what I'm saying? So like I would fall in love with a certain individual, and we would get into certain disagreements, which I call it disagreements, but y'all really just be fucking arguing and wanting to make your point be heard and seen and all type of loudness and yelling type of fucking weird shit and stuff like that. I'm not that type of person. We gonna either have a healthy discussion or it ain't gonna be shit. You gonna shut the fuck up and lay there for the rest of the night. Because I don't play that shit. I don't like that. Like, y'all don't even know, man. I've had situations with people, and this just goes to even further prove my point. I've had situations with females where a bitch will be sitting here trying to argue with you all fucking night, and you can sit here and construct it in 100 different ways to sit here and calmly talk to them and be like, look, like, this is how it is. This is how I'm thinking. This is how I'm feeling. This is how I'm viewing things at the moment. And this person will be like, well, no, that's not right. It should be like this and da, 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 da. And then the moment that you be like, no, like, I'm not accepting those terms and conditions. Like, that's not how I'm viewing this relationship. That's not how things are going to go with me. You get what I'm saying? And this will be the exact same moment that they'll tell you that you're not open-minded or you're selfish and you don't know how to see any perspective outside of your own. Whenever you just sat here and broke down their perspective and showed them why you view things in this type of way and things should be this way as opposed to this way that they're presenting to you. So you have already expressed the capability to actually view other people's perspectives. You've actually expressed the capability to be able to step into other people's shoes and actually see things how they see them, right? But you don't agree with it. So people be in ego with shit like this. Like I said, people be self-identifying with everything. It's very deep. People be thinking just because they view the world and they think in a certain way, like that's them. And that's, you know what I'm saying? Like, and, oh, I can't control how I feel about things. Like, no, shut that shit down immediately. Don't play those games with an individual like that, because it'll always be a situation where their perspective, their way of thinking, their way of viewing things needs to reign supreme. It needs to be on top. We need to be acting on my perspective. That's how a person like that will always view things. You get what I'm saying? And not to say like, I'm not a person who's been like, nah, your perspective's bullshit. We're going to do things this way. Cause yeah, I do be doing that a lot, because most individuals ain't on shit at the end of the day, and whatever perspective they're trying to put me into and however they're trying to handle the situation and approach things at the moment and wanting me to back and support that and be along with that and shit like that, it leads to like going off a cliff type energies. It leads to nowhere type of energies. It leads to like tower moments and pitfalls and catastrophic moments and shit like that. And I have the foresight to be able to see that, but I'm not self-identifying with my perspective and my way of thinking at the moment and my way of viewing the world at the moment. I could always be wrong. There's always room to grow. There's always new things to learn. But at the end of the day, I've been through enough experiences to have the foresight to actually see that what you're talking about at the moment is bullshit. So you trying to put it onto me is a waste of your time, because I'm never going to act out in those characters. Like, that's some lesser me shit. Like, that's some old and outdated shit at this point. You get what I'm saying? So why the fuck, when I'm in newness and I'm gravitating and magnetizing change, positive change and shit like that, why the fuck am I going to go back and act out on these old type of characters and frequencies and vibrations that I already know don't work at the end of the day? You get what I'm saying? But a person will never understand this. You can literally sit there and say the exact same thing that I just said to you in the most peaceful, most loving and caring, catering to every type of fucking emotional flux that they might have, but they will never understand this shit. And I can promise you this, because I've dealt with individuals like this. And these people hate to feel like they're unheard or they're unseen, or they hate to not be cared for. So if you express anything that seems like you not caring about what they're talking about at the moment, it's going to piss them off. And they will never stop. Like y'all, I don't think y'all get it. Like, I've been through situations like this with females where I will, a female's literally trying to argue with me, yelling and screaming. I've came outside my mouth and over-explained myself 100 different ways, 100 different times, letting a motherfucker know, like, no, that's, I'm sorry. Like, I value your perspective. I value your opinion, but you're wrong at the end of the day. Like, and it's not about me wanting to be right. It's about me knowing what's going on at the end of the day through my experiences. Just because you're a person who lack experience don't mean that you need to have, you know what I'm saying? You don't need to be putting yourself in that type of aspect, thinking that you know everything and now you need to be the one who needs to be heard and shit like that. Because like I said, you can come out your mouth and explain it 100 different ways. But in my personal experience, you'll have situations where a female will get so fucking upset about this. And I'm sure dudes do this shit too. Because I've seen females deal with dudes who are just like this. Like I've seen this same exact type of character play out through males too. So don't think I'm like being hard on y'all females and shit like that right now. I'm just speaking off of my own experiences based on shit that I personally have went through, not shit that I just am observing from someone else. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, you'll have situations where you'll sit here and try to like diffuse the argument and shit like that and not make it so heavy emotionally and shit. And you'll get to the point where you get tired of talking to a person. You get what I'm saying? Like, obviously, you're not making no progress. We've been having this same conversation for 3 hours. I've told you the same things over and over again. You're still missing the point. You're still not getting it. I can't tell you any other way. You just want to be right at the moment. And I'm sorry, like you can't be right in this situation. So you'll do some shit like fucking cover up with the blanket and roll over and be like I'm not talking to you for the rest of the night. Just leave me alone. We can pick this up tomorrow or at some other time if you still want to fucking bitch and argue about it, right? So you'll cover up your ass with a blanket and fucking roll over and shit like that. I've had situations where females will literally sit there and fucking tug at the blankets all night and like keep ripping them off of you and just being petty and trying to make you uncomfortable and shit like that so that you'll talk to them or make you stay. Like they'll try to fucking hoard the blanket and keep it all night and shit like that. And like I've literally had women do this shit and try to like legit wrestle me for this shit. And it's like, bro, what are you fucking doing? No ego or nothing, but it's like, you're dumb. I'm stronger than you. Like this is not going to work out how you want it to. You're just fucking being annoying. And these would be the same people who claim that you're annoying when you're being fucking childish and just having fun and shit like that and joking around about shit. These would be the same people who say you're annoying. But the moment that you're wrong and you lose an argument or some shit like that, you want to sit here and just have a screaming match with me all day. Like I'm not interested in that type of shit. So just be aware of that. People will do this. And this has to do with, like I said, your internal families aren't on the same type of timing. They haven't taken the time to program anything. They haven't taken the time to actually put energy and effort into anything as far as internally doing the internal energy work and shit like that. They might even be a person who has everything you could dream of in the physical reality. They might have a nice house. They might have a good career, good job, whatever it may be, but they never took care of themselves internally. So they don't have any type of impulse control. They don't have any type of emotional intelligence to even be able to see where you coming from. They don't have any type of anything that you deserve out of a relationship, because at this point, it's not even you wanting it. It's not even you needing it. At this point, if you're a person who has watched this whole video and you have been doing a certain type of things that I've been talking about and you've experienced similarities with this shit, at this point, you know that you don't even want that shit anymore. Like you don't even like you expect a motherfucker to let you down. You expect for people to fuck over on you. You expect for shit to go wrong. You know what I'm saying? So you don't even want it anymore at that point, but you deserve that shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's when it'll come, whenever you let go of shit like that. The right type of relationships will gravitate towards you, because I'm trying to hit that motherfucker upside down. But yeah, that's when the shit will come to you, when you're not wanting it and not needing it and not putting so much pressure onto a person as far as this is how you need to react and respond to me. Because a person who only knows a certain type of expression, only knows a certain type of way of being, only has dealt with guys in the past and given them traumas from the guys they've dealt with in the past, sexually, mentally, abuse, emotional abuse, sexual assault, fucking yelling, arguments, domestic abuse, actually physically fucking hitting a person and shit like that. They've only dealt with people like this. So you setting up boundaries and expecting and putting certain restrictions on it as far as you need to act out in these certain type of ways. Like if they weren't acting out in those type of ways in the very beginning, at the apex of the relationship, when y'all first met each other or whatever, it's never going to be that way. So you setting up these certain type of restrictions, they don't even know a way of going about that at the end of the day. You get what I'm saying? They don't know that realm. That's like newness to them. So you have to lead by example and show them And 9 times out of 10, people ain't even willing to change anyway. So they just still you gonna be trying to show them some new shit, and they still gonna be arguing with you about old dumb shit at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? So just keep that in mind. Don't get lost into potentialities. Like I've spoke about before, it's all a potentiality. When somebody's not showing you what you deserve at the moment, they're never going to show it to you. It's something that you're romanticizing up in your brain just because this person looks good and they have a fucking fat ass or something at the moment. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, it's nothing. It's just potentiality. And that potentiality will never be realized by an ain't shit ass individual who don't know nothing about change, especially people who fear change. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you damn near can't even be a friend to a person who is afraid of change. Cause I've tried, like I've dealt with dudes like that who literally will come outside their mouth and tell you like, man, I just want to sit in the house and be comfortable. I want everything to be the same of how I got it right now. Like I'm happy with what I got right now. I'm afraid of change. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't want anything to be new. I don't want to move. I don't want to nothing. You know what I'm saying? And it's impossible to be friends with people like that, because if they're so afraid of change, they're never going to change the way they think and they feel. They never going to change their mentality. They're never going to change their worldview. They're never, you know what I'm saying? They're not going to move to the more newer and updated ways of viewing the world, the better ways of doing things, the better ways of viewing yourself, the better ways of taking care of yourself, other than going to a doctor and getting a prescription for anxiety and depression, or fucking going and getting a shot for the flu season and shit like that. A person like that ain't never going to realize these things. A person like that ain't never going to change in that capacity that you want them to. So just keep that in mind. Wherever you are at right now, you need somebody who's on your level. You can't expect to build people up all the time. You can't expect to uplift people and lift people up all the time if you don't actually see them taking the steps in their day-to-day life to reach whatever space that you're at the moment. You get what I'm saying? You're at point B, they're still at point A. Damn near fucking point D, E, and F for fucking people like me. You know what I'm saying? And they're still at point A. You can't reach back and try to drag them forward if they don't have the cobblestone pathway set out for themselves already. You get what I'm saying? If they're not already approaching, if they're not already walking towards that space, or they're already in general. I'm at the point now where I don't give a fuck about y'all. I've given up trying to build y'all up and make y'all a part of me. I do this shit for the internet. I do this shit for me, as far as what I'm teaching and shit like that, based upon what I've learned and what I know and shit like that. It's strictly majority of the way for me. Whoever is on this type of tip and can get it, good for you and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But I do not give a fuck about helping y'all in that type of way at this point. You get what I'm saying? Because I've seen what happens when you try to help people in that type of aspect. In reality, when I'm doing this shit, more so, I'm talking to myself for the most part. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't nobody be in my chat for the most part. Don't nobody be, you know what I'm saying? I've got fucking live streams on here of my earlier live streams and shit like that, of me sitting here and clicking my own. If you in the chat right now, you could probably see this, of me sitting here and clicking my own fucking reactions and fucking smiley faces and kissy faces and fucking all this shit. Like, I've got videos of me reacting to my own shit, and I sit here and get hyped. Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, fucking hundreds in the chat or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get boosted off of that type of shit. So most of the time, I just be talking to myself in general and giving myself a documentary and a audio and video log of the shit that I've been through and the shit that I'm learning from and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't be trying to help people no more. And if you're on this type of timing, that's the best thing for you. Like, you can, if a certain person deserve it. But the thing that I've realized about life is you get punished whenever you help somebody who doesn't deserve it, because they're going to fuck off that help at the end of the day anyways. You get what I'm saying? They're not going to be able to, they're not going to do nothing with it. So you're just wasting your time. So you need somebody who's already where you're at. You get what I'm saying? Where you're at spiritually. That way you're not having to spend time regulating another person outside of you's emotions and regulating a person outside of you's mentality and worldview and how they're thinking about things. Like, you don't, like, what's understood don't need to be explained type of energies. Like, you don't, like, certain spiritual people that I've met in real life who are actually closer to my type of level and shit like that, even if they make a mistake and come outside their mouth and say something in an incorrect type of manner or some shit like that, I can just give these type of people a certain type of look, and they'll realize like, okay, yeah, that was uncalled for. That wasn't, you know what I'm saying? That shouldn't have been done at this time, like time and place for everything. Like, and they'll damn near even apologize sometimes. You get what I'm saying? But that's the type of time you need to be on. You need to be on the type of time where you don't even have to give somebody a look like that. You know what I'm saying? You don't even have to do nothing because this person is already on the same type of time. So anything they come outside their mouth is going to be some shit that you might even slightly agree with half the time. You get what I'm saying? Don't waste your time trying to save people because these motherfuckers ain't shit at the end of the day. Please don't waste your time trying to save people because you're just going to make negative progress on your own. You get what I'm saying? And this is the thing too. Humanity is so weak in their fucking worldview in general, and the way that, and their perspectives and the ways that they view things. You will have a person making little to no progress or reverse progress. Like they're backsliding, going backwards and shit like that. And this person will believe with everything in them that they're making progress. You get what I'm saying? This person will believe with everything in them that they're making progress when they really not. So y'all need to keep that into consideration too. Because a person who fucking got a super moisturized tear ducts and shit like that, a motherfucker will start crying in your face and make you feel bad for him and be like, I'm trying, like I'm making progress. I'm making progress. It's happening slow. Like progress doesn't happen overnight and da 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 da. But yet you're still telling this person the same things every fucking day. You're still warning them about the same shit every day. You're still telling them about how this expression and you fucking yelling at me and shit like that is not how we do relationships and shit like that. We're adults. We don't do shit like that. You know what I'm saying? We don't argue and scream at each other. We have a discussion and come to a conclusion. Otherwise, what's the fucking point? You get what I'm saying? I'm not going to be sitting here and be yelled at all day. I dealt with that shit enough in my childhood. I'm not nobody's little fucking kid or nothing. You're not going to order me around. You're not going to do shit like that. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, they'll be swearing that they're making progress, but yet you still have to tell them the same shit every single day. You get what I'm saying? That's not progress last time I checked. You know what I'm saying? And I don't expect you to completely transmute that and rid that from your system that day and shit like that. But you be seeing, you're telling this person the same shit day in and day out. And at the same time, it's coming to you at an even more worse percentage level. It's coming at you at an even worse degree. So you're not, it's not loosening the reins. It's not lessening up the grip on whatever that person's dealing with at the moment. If anything, it's making them cling on to it tighter because they're feeling personally attacked right now. Because like I told y'all, humanity self-identify with everything. So whatever aspect of them that you're dealing with at the moment and trying to help them through, they're self-identified with it. So they're going to take it as a personal attack. Like you're trying to be mean to them, or you don't like them, or you don't value them, or you don't really love them, even if you do love them and shit like that. Because y'all know how life plays out. I mean, take a look at your own family. Take a look at your own friendships that you've had over life. You get what I'm saying? All these people who quote unquote claim to be your family and friends, these people would never come outside their mouth and try to correct your behavior at all. These people would never come outside their mouth and tell you when you're doing wrong. These people would never come outside their mouth and tell you any type of issue that you're presenting right now that is not even really an issue or something that you need to work out on your own or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Or you need to figure it out yourself type of shit without needing me type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Because you see, everybody always has to have a team. If you got a problem with the individual, they're calling fucking mommy, daddy, auntie, Sue, everybody. You know what I'm saying? So don't waste your time into this shit. Individuals ain't shit. Humanity ain't shit at the end of the day. It's a waste of fucking time. Don't be wasting your fucking good legs that you could be using to walk towards some shit that's even more better for you, even better, more wholesome, more fulfilled state of being for you. And you waste them legs taking steps backwards to try and fucking help this person get to where you're at. Meanwhile, you are so focused on that, you're not watching the foundation of whatever it is that you built in this space. So it's all type of spirits coming along and all type of shit happening, earthquakes and shit, to make that shit have like a cracked foundation and shit like that. So now by the time you get back to it, this shit now needs to be repaired, or you've done finessed yourself out of your opportunity, or you've done finessed yourself out of position and shit like that, due to trying to help people, due to caring so much about an individual and loving them to the point that you try too hard and you take steps backwards to help them. That's marrying somebody else's problems. That's adultery at the end of the day. Don't waste your time on it. Don't waste your time on it. Take care of yourself. And whoever's meant to be in that space will get there. We need to be pushing people more to do things on their own. You know what I'm saying? We need to be pushing people more to do things on their own and let them be aware of whenever they fucking up and shit like that. Because like I said, y'all just observe reality. Any friend that you've ever had and anybody in your life right now that you call a friend or a family member, go and tell them some dumbass idea, right? Just dumbest shit you can think of, or the most dumbest shit you can think of, or the most shit that might hurt you, or the shit that might hurt you but help them in some type of way. You get what I'm saying? Come and express that to these people and tell me exactly what happens. Because I can tell you right now, 99% of people ain't gonna say shit about it. And they're gonna be like, oh yeah, man, do whatever you want to do, or yeah, that's a good idea, or some shit, when you know damn well you made it up as a stupid idea on purpose. And they're gonna sit here and tell you it's a good idea, man. Yeah, go ahead and go for that shit. Yeah, go ahead and spin the block on them ops. Yeah, go ahead and go and rob this drug dealer's house that we know about right down here down the street. And yeah, come back with me. Make sure you come back with me when you get done, and we can break this shit down and sell it off to whoever. You know what I'm saying? Go and rob that gas station. Yeah. Go and rob that gas station. Make sure I get my cut and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what's going to happen. The only person in your life who might say some shit to you and be like, oh, no, you're fucking up, is going to be your mama. And I can tell you that right now. Your mom is going to be like the only person in your life who's going to be like, oh, no, dude, you're fucking up. Like, that's a bad idea. Don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Unless y'all just got flunked out mamas. My mama's flunked out too, but not to that type of tip. You know what I'm saying? Not to that type of tip. So yeah, just make sure you got your internal structuring system set up in the correct type of manner. That way you can be the L. That way you can be the individual. That way you can be in that 90-degree area of space and circumference with your circle squared out. That way when people try to bring more roundness, more chaotic shit into it, you've got all them fucking slicing angular systems set up to where that shit, like, whatever mentality, whatever influence, whatever spirit, whatever it is, you just slice right through it. It can't get to you because you got all your fucking defense systems set up and shit like that internally. That and this be happening to y'all a lot by accident. You know what I'm saying? Certain people be in certain spaces spiritually and shit like that just by accident. And y'all be wondering why can't I have a relationship with this person that I want to have one with so bad? It's because of the way that your internal structuring system is set up, and the way that theirs is doesn't jive with your shit. Your family don't fuck with their family. You don't fuck with their family. You know what I'm saying? That's why your relationships don't work out. And y'all need to implement with practical application all the tools and keys and gems and juices and flows and fruits that I gave y'all within this video. And this is going to be one that I'm going back to watch as well, just so I don't fuck around and do something that I don't need to be doing necessarily, dealing with certain people, even though I don't deal with that many people anymore. You know what I'm saying? I've mostly fucking cut majority of people out of my life for the most part, you know, but at the same time though, don't get it fucked up. I still be having my little dealings and shit like that. Man, my IG shit is fucking froze. I can't even end the live and shit. But yeah, this is a little 48-minute breakdown, almost an hour. I think I'm done though. I've got some shit that I got to go deal with. So yeah, whoever is on the IG side, well, there's nothing really to say to y'all on the IG side. Y'all have seen the whole video if you've been in here. I'll just make a post and put the link to this. That way, if anybody wants to come and jump in, they can watch this later as far as pre-recorded, because this shit comes up on the thing at the end. Let's go ahead and fucking end this with a good Suicide Boys jam, because It's the 4th. I go to see Suicide Boys in 11 days. Let's just do it. Let's just end it on a damn Suicide Boys jam. Young Pimp from Chantilly with him. Concrete Litter with the Minty Filler Blood Raps. Yeah, we'll go with Memoirs of a Gorilla.
It's a serpent attack crawling under your skin. If I take a bet, you can guess who gon' win. I walk in the jacks without no protection. I function in hoods every city I'm in. I'm the great gorilla at the concrete jump. From the dope, cause I just shot a bundle. Scarecrow, make the chopper drum shots rumble. Scarecrow, got the dope game from home. Stupid for the drugs over bitches. Better watch out, they pick it. Snakes start hissing, heads gon' miss it. Rest in peace to the ones I'm killing. Keep drilling, codeine spilling. Blood on my linen from the cuts, never in the hot boys at the crib with a mouth full of script. Body bag tip when the gun never could.
What?
Ruby leveled up. Ruby leveled up. Ruby gon' level up, never promotion. I got the dope, never playing up gas on the board. Kick back, never board, big gas with the short, big gas to the sport. Ruby wrestles, never let us ever water. Ruby get up on the moon, on the hood just yet. 7-point dragon with a fiery sword to the neck. It goes to play, it goes to down, that's the red from the red. Every day you make that escape, never take off a light, concentrate, set them straight, don't be not the same. Yeah, it's hard to remain with yourself late. Yeah, it's hard to remain with yourself made. We'll be about to take a second breath and break yourself because all that remains is the blessing.
Oh, I can't wait then, bro. It's gonna be a fucking amazing time once again. But all right, we're out of here. Everybody, thank you for showing up. Peace.